Published 0342 EDT, the 14th of October 2017. Updated 1332 EDT, the 14th of October 2017. Iranian women walk past the former U.S. Embassy in Tehran on November 3, 2016. Iranians responded with anger and mockery on Saturday to the bellicose speech against their country by U.S. President Donald Trump and his threats to tear up the landmark nuclear deal. "I was so angry last night," said Layla, 42, who runs an artisan shop in Tehran. "This person hates Iran so much that even if we don't support the ideas of the regime, we find ourselves supporting them and the Revolutionary Guards." Like millions of other Iranians, she spent Friday night watching Trump reel off a list of grievances committed by the Iranian dictatorship, its sponsorship of terrorism, and its continuing aggression in the Middle East and all around the world. He threatened to terminate the 2015 nuclear deal signed between Iran and 6 world powers unless Congress passed stringent new sanctions. But for many, Trump's biggest insult was the use of the term Arabian Gulf rather than Persian Gulf, a big no-no in a country with a fierce nationalistic streak. Everyone knew Trump's friendship was for sale to the highest bidder. "We now know that his geography is too," wrote Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif on Twitter, referring to the U.S. alliance with Iran's regional rival Saudi Arabia. Most countries and international bodies still use Persian Gulf as the conventional name for the region's waterway, despite pressure to change it from the Arab Gulf monarchies. In Iran's favor, Trump's statements are so ridiculous that it actually works in Iran's favor. "Speaking about the Arabian Gulf is taken very badly by people here," said Abbas, a 40-year-old banker on his way to work. "The reaction of the Europeans shows that the United States is isolated, and only Saudi Arabia and Israel have supported Trump," he added. The other signatories to the nuclear deal, Britain, France, Germany, China and Russia, have called for its preservation, saying that Iran is clearly sticking to its commitments. U.S. President Donald Trump reignited America's decades-old feud with Iran by calling into question the future of a 2015 deal limiting its nuclear program. In an interview with the U.S. television channel CBS News, Zarif said Trump's assault on the nuclear deal sealed under his predecessor Barack Obama had served to undermine U.S. credibility on the international front. "Nobody else will trust any U.S. administration to engage in any long-term negotiation because the length of any commitment, the duration of any commitment from now on with any U.S. administration would be the remainder of the term of that president," Zarif said. Trump's efforts to reach out to ordinary Iranians, who he referred to as the longest-suffering victims of the Islamic regime, also appeared to have fallen on deaf ears, with many recalling the travel ban he slapped on them earlier this year. His Instagram page was inundated by more than 1 million comments, mostly from jeering Iranians. "Trump stopped Iranians going to the U.S. How can he say he's on our side?" said Layla. For all the bluster, Trump's strategy was not as tough as many had predicted. It placed new sanctions on Iran's Revolutionary Guards, but did not designate them a foreign terrorist organization as trailed in the run-up to this speech. "We will stand together." The hardline Kan newspaper spun this as a victory, saying Trump had not dared to do so after the Guards warned the U.S. would have to move its regional bases out of reach of Iranian missiles. President Hassan Rouhani had pushed back against the Revolutionary Guards' deep involvement in the economy after winning re-election earlier this year. But Trump's threats have brought a new solidarity among Iran's often bitterly divided institutions. "We have dissatisfactions, for example there are economic problems," said Bahram Siavoshi, 36, as he walked to work at a private finance firm in Tehran. "But if it comes to it, we will stand together to the end, and will defend even the Guards. Their efforts cannot be ignored. If it wasn't for them we would be like Syria or Yemen." Rouhani took to the airwaves shortly after Trump's speech on Friday night, dismissing it as nothing but the repetition of baseless accusations and swear words. "He has not studied international law. Can a president annul a multilateral international treaty on his own?" Rouhani said. Nonetheless, the deal's future hangs in the balance as the U.S. Congress has 60 days to decide how to tighten sanctions, or possibly introduce new red lines that would trigger a U.S. response. If the Congress goes ahead with new sanctions, then the deal is dead and Iran will restart its nuclear program and move forward full steam ahead in all fields, Mohammad Marandi, a professor at the University of Tehran, told AFP. Iran will probably invest even more than before in order to show the Americans that they can't get away with destroying the agreement. Sorry, we are not currently accepting comments on this article.